Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to All Chiefs Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass. And today we're going to be talking about a little injury news. Stefon Diggs has a foot problem. He may or may not play this Sunday afternoon. We're also going to talk about some Chiefs injuries. Steve, let's talk about it.
Before we get the show started, we appreciate you being here. Make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Stefon Diggs dealing with a little bit of a foot injury. Gabe Davis not playing, or the Bills are going to have a problem at wide receiver on Sunday.
Right. Gabe Davis already ruled out. Elena Getzenberg says Sean McDermott said that Stefon Diggs' foot injury initially took place during the game last week, but it was something that cropped up a bit later this week. He did not practice yesterday. He was limited today, Steve. James Palmer also just reported that Sean McDermott said Stefon Diggs' foot will practice today, but he's expected to be limited, which is exactly what Elena said. McDermott said that he's not concerned about his availability on Sunday. Do you think Stefon Diggs is going to play? Because personally, I think he'll be out there in a wheelchair if he has to. He's not going to miss this one.
He's not going to miss this game, but it could affect him a little bit. You have to think. Healthy-footed Stefon Diggs only caught 3 balls for 24 yards on the Chiefs. So, I mean, it could be a day for him, and especially without Gabe Davis out there to attract a little bit of attention. Him being out, that hurts a little bit as well. So this could be a plus for the Chiefs, and it could be a good day for L'Jarius Sneed.
Yep, Gabe Davis caught 4 touchdowns in the 13-second playoff game. We'll see. He's not out there this time. L'Jarius Sneed's probably licking those chops, baby. He's licking the chops. He's ready to get out there and get after him. Steve, do you hear it?
Oh, it's the excuse train.
Oh, the Bills are firing up the excuse train already. Here it comes, because the Chiefs are coming into Orchard Park to beat that ass, and they are firing up the excuse train. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, here's the thing about it. Even with this going on, I still, like you said, Stefon Diggs is not going to miss the game. And when he does play, he's probably not as injured as they're making it out to be. He's probably just fine. But the fact of the matter is, no Gabe Davis. You're probably going to see a healthy dose of Khalil Shakur in the slot. And we just got to stop Josh Allen from scrambling. I mean, that's the main thing the defense needs to focus on, because Josh Allen, by all means, thinks he's a running back. So they really got to check that out and make sure he's not being able to gain yards on 3rd and longs. That's going to be the key to winning this game.
Right. Hit him hard, hit him often. As soon as he runs the ball,
very
hit him
hard. Have you seen the clip? It was a Patriots game with Josh Allen. He took off running with the ball, and one of the guys absolutely decked him and knocked him out.
That's funny. That's what we need to do.
That's what we need to do every play.
Let's have Willie Gay, Leo, somebody deck this bad boy. Thad Brown says Sean McDermott says the following are out. We just talked about Gabe Davis, Christian Benford, Taylor Rapp, the safety is out, Balin Spector. Game time decisions on corner, Taron Johnson, Terrell Bernard, Sam Martin. Says Bernard and Taron playing would be huge. Benford is tough, but Dane Jackson is a quality backup. Steve, they could miss a lot of guys at linebacker, a lot of guys in the secondary. Buffalo looks a little bit depleted again. Here they come. Here comes the excuse train. Steve, we got a lot of injuries too, though. Let's look at ours really quick before we talk about that. PJ Green tweets out, Andy Reid confirms that Derek Nottie is officially gone. So with Derek Nottie out, they're going to activate Mike Pennell. 1,000% Mike Pennell's coming to the big show, baby. Mike Pennell
he was already in the big show, right?
Right. Yeah. Wanye Morris is out. Concussion protocol. He is not doing well with concussion protocol. Don't really know why he would be having setbacks, but he did. Also, we had a little thing earlier this week. Sky Moore was looking to be activated off IR. Nay. Sky Moore tweaked his knee a little bit yesterday and will be out. He did not practice today. Sky Moore is probably done for the season. I couldn't see them bringing back Sky Moore at the Super Bowl if we get there, when we get there, by the way. That's the only way I could see him playing. I don't see him tweaking a knee coming back this week. Obviously, he's already been ruled out. I don't see him coming back for the AFC Championship game either.
Yeah, for sure. None of this messes with the Chiefs' chemistry that much at all, I don't think. Derek Nottie's had a good year, but, I mean, with Mike Pennell in there to help run stuffing, I think we're going to be fine there. As far as Wanye Morris, Donovan Smith had the start last week, and he did pretty well. So I'm not too worried about that. And then, of course, Sky Moore not being with the team has actually been a spark for the offense in a way, just because there's more opportunities out there for Rashee Rice and guys like that. So I think it's fine. I'm not worried about those injuries whatsoever. I think the Bills are definitely on the bad side of the injury bug. But, hey, it's late in the season. You're in the playoffs here. So, I mean, there's going to be all kinds of injuries.
Right. This happens. People have to deal with this. You have to deal with it. This is playoff football. You got to get through it. I think the Mike Pennell, I almost called him Pinocchio out here, Mike Pennell. Mike Pennell does good things on the inside. So him replacing Derek Nottie, not a big deal. I wonder if Isaiah Buggs gets any consideration. Maybe, maybe not. But we do know Andy Dunn said Pennell's coming up. Like they're activating him to replace Nottie. I don't fear anything up the middle with the run game there. We do need to stop James Cook. The last time we played Buffalo, James Cook had himself a day. Like there was one point where James Cook had doubled our offensive output by himself. So we have to slow down the run game. And I believe with the offense, with all the injuries on the back end, they're talking about Von Miller's going to cook Jawan Taylor. I don't see it. Look, Von Miller's washed, Steve. I'm just going to say it right now. Von Miller's washed.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. I'm not worried about Von Miller whatsoever.
Do you think Von Miller gets a sack and then proves us wrong?
He might get one, but I don't think he's going to be game wrecking or anything. I'm not worried about that. I think the protection for Mahomes is going to be just fine. I'm kind of wondering what the defensive scheme is going to be for Buffalo. I mean, if you start blitzing heavy, that Patrick Mahomes is going to eat you up. Look what happened last week with the Dolphins. So
the Dolphins blitzing what? 50,
almost 60% of the time.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes ate him up because that's what he does. He can beat a blitz fairly easily. So, I mean, they have to get a good rush with their front four, which they can do. I believe Gregory Rousseau is healthy. He's a monster. And, of course, they got their defensive tackles down there. So, I mean, they can do that. But I'm not real worried about our offensive line at all. I think they've performed pretty well.
Look, they've got some players talking trash on Mahomes, Steve. They said that he's never played in Orchard Park with a full stadium because of COVID in 2020.
Ooh.
Does the noise affect Patrick Mahomes?
The dreaded Highmark Stadium.
Ooh, the dreaded noise of Buffalo. Who cares? Like, what do we hear? Tables snapping? Like, is that it?
I don't know. Last I checked, I didn't think that was one of the feared stadiums to go to. So maybe they're just trying to make a narrative. But the thing is, Mike, they've been running with that all week. Patrick Mahomes has never played an away game, blah, blah, blah. We know that's partly false because he played a true away game in a Super Bowl. With a depleted offensive line. He got the crap kicked out of him the entire time. If you don't think he has some experience playing an away game in the playoffs, you're dead wrong. Plus, Patrick Mahomes has a better road record overall than he has a home record as a starting quarterback. So I don't think that's as big of a factor. I just think they have nothing else to talk about.
Dude, the media is pushing narratives like crazy. We've seen it today. Colin Cowherd, some clown filled in for him today, opens up the entire show talking about a fake news report that Andy Reid is seriously considering retiring and the Chiefs are looking to the future. That's completely false. How many times does Andy Reid have to come out and say, I'm not retiring this year?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with all these fake accounts and fake reports and things like that people are falling for all of a sudden this week. Because I'm almost 100% positive there's a Willie Gay tweet going around talking about how he's not going to be back next year, basically. Right. And I'm pretty sure it's a fake account. I'm almost positive. It's got like 3,000 followers on it. And there's not much other activity going on it. Pretty sure it's fake, but people have ran with that. So I don't know what the deal is, man. I think it's just there's not a whole lot to talk about. And it's weird because there should be, because this is a matchup between Buffalo and Kansas City in the divisional round of the playoffs. Every time the Chiefs play the Bills in the playoffs, it is a shootout. It is a massive game. It's a nail biter. It's always full of drama. I don't think you have to create the narratives from anywhere else. Just go back to past Chiefs versus Bills games in the playoffs.
Well, it's been big in the media this week that the Chiefs are at a disadvantage because the weather's too cold. Didn't we just play in minus 30, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
I don't understand what's happening.
You've got Good Morning Football out here. Kyle Brandt has an entire segment today for 5 minutes talking trash on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Cool. Like making the most distasteful jokes I've ever seen. Why is everybody piling on?
Mike, you've made those same distasteful jokes, don't you?
Okay, look. I will say that he's been horned up. He's been horned up a little bit, but I'm not going to get on there and start saying all kinds of stupid crap.
Don't you get on your high horse about distastefulness.
Screw Kyle Brandt. He's a Kyle, and I don't like him. Look, if he's not going to pick Pete Schrager, pick the Chiefs. He's a smart man. I just don't see. I don't see it. We should do a little bit of impromptu. We haven't discussed this. We should do some impromptu game MVP predictions and a little score prediction if you'd like.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I'm kind of with Pete Schrager. Like, I'm in the same boat as him. Me and Peter's in the same boat, okay? And if Peter's in the boat with me, then Jesus is watching over us, Mike. And I'm telling you, I still have faith in the Chiefs as well. I'm just like Pete said. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter what's going on. It's Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. It's Andy Reid. I still have faith in this team. And I have faith that they can go beat anybody. I'm not worried about Buffalo. I think the Chiefs are going to take this game, and I think it's going to take a little bit more points than you're used to scoring this year, but I think we can get the job done. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs, probably about 35-27. I'm going to take the Chiefs there.
You think the Chiefs can score 35 points?
They're going to have to. I mean, they're just got to find a way to score because, I mean, our defense could very well hold them to way less than 27 points. But there's a chance that they won't because it's a high-powered offense, plus Josh Allen with, the run capabilities. It can be a pain in the ass. They've been a pain for a lot of teams. But you've also seen them not be able to put points on the board like they did against Miami in the last game of the season. They scored 14. One off a fluke punt return, the other off of a ball bouncing off of a guy's head. Right. So, I mean, it really depends on which ones of these teams shows up because both teams are very similar in the fact that they can be the best team in the league that day or they can be the worst. Right. They both do it all the time. So I think the Chiefs show up. I think they're ready. I think they're prepared. I think Andy has his team where they're supposed to be. I think he's a much better coach than Sean McDermott. And it's playoff time, baby. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Right. I'm going to take the Chiefs, too. I've got the Chiefs 20-17. I think it's going to be cold. I think it's going to be just probably kind of a sloppy game, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be super high scoring, especially with all the injuries Buffalo has. I think our defense is going to stop. I think Spags is going to have a great game plan. Josh Allen's probably going to get his lucky throws here and there. He's probably going to get his you remember the throw he made earlier in the year when, they won off the toe over the line. But do you remember that play that he comes over to the side and he's running, he evades it, and he just throws up a duck, and the dude didn't even catch the ball.
Didn't even catch it. It was Latavius Murray. Yeah, he dropped the ball.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was a bad call. But look, you got to beat the officials. You got to beat the fans. You got to beat the weather. You got to beat the Bills. Actually, out of all those, the Bills are the least of my worries. So I'm going to say 2017. I still don't think we get the ball in the end zone that many times. Like, you are what you are at this point. We know what we are. We're a run-first defensive team, and we better stick to that.
I'm kind of on the other side of the fence on that. I think that we are going to be run first, and we are going to be more smash mouth because that's just what the Chiefs have to do now. They don't have the luxury going out and scoring in 30 seconds like they used to. But I do think they're going to be more effective in the red zone. Like, it's been a problem all freaking year long.
Right.
It even reared its ugly head in the playoffs, even though you won comfortably against the Dolphins, but was still an issue. That's a topic that they've been talking about this week. Matt Nagy came out and talked about it in a presser. I think that's something they're very, very focused on, and I think it's something that they got to get done. Heck, you even seen the clip of Mahomes being a little frustrated running back onto the field, saying, let's get the ball in the effing end zone. Because it's just getting tiring for these guys. I think this is the week they do it, man. I think they'll be efficient in the red zone this week.
Right. Mahomes has been saying that. He said that just as soon as yesterday. He was like, look, we just got to figure out how to turn field goals into points. Like, we got to get them into touchdowns. I still don't know. I think if Sky Moore would have got back, our offense would have exploded for 70 or 80. But that's just, what he brings, the dynamicness of Sky Moore's one catch for 12 yards.
Michael,
between him and
MVS. You're just trying to make people get mad in the comment section. That's what you're doing.
Hey, fire up the comment section, baby.
Fire it up, boys.
Run. Fire it up. Steve, who are you giving who are you going to give the early prediction game ball to?
Man, I have to go Mahomes. Like, I wanted to lean Isaiah Pacheco just because I know he's just solid every week, week in and week out. And I think he's going to be a big factor in this game. We didn't have him in the Bills game in the regular season. We're going to have him this time. And he's a game changer. Don't get that twisted. But I think Patrick Mahomes, it's his time, man. It's his time. It's the playoffs. He done busted his helmet last week in a very playoff-esque run by Patrick Mahomes. Had the Grim Reaper on his helmet. The Grim Reaper is out and about, Mike. And I think Patrick Mahomes is just going to be out there dicing them up.
Turtleneck Pat, baby. You know what? I think if we win this game, it's going to be on our defense. I really do. I think it's on the defense. And I'm going to say we got to have co-MVPs. You need to have somebody off the defensive line, and you need to have a linebacker. I'm fine with our secondary. I think our secondary does the job it needs to do. I have full trust in McDuffie, the Warden, L'Jarius Sneed. We'll just call him Lockdown L'Jarius. That's what I'm going to call him from here on out. And so I'm going to give a duel. I'm going to say Chris Jones / Nick Bolton for MVPs, and we hold them to 17, and they make some big plays, and we're all going to be doing this. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in Orchard Park. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
get it going.
I bet George Karlaftis gets sacked. I'm calling that now.
Georgie Porgy's putting up.
George is going to get one.
Does he get? Yeah, I think he gets one. Maybe he gets 1.5 too.
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about the Chiefs and the blitz. The Bills are also good against the blitz. So I do think that those front four are going to have to perform think Chris Jones eats up space, and I think that the George Karlaftis is going to get it done. You've noticed this year he's found a way to close that gap. His rookie season, he was always close. He was always close. This year, he's double-digit sacks because he found a way to get there.
You know who's going to also get after Josh Allen? I'm calling it right now. Omena, huh? Omena what? Omena who?
Omena who?
That's who. Omena who?
He's going to
have a sack.
He's been tooting his own horn a little bit.
Hey, toot,
so,
big fella.
Get out there and show it off, buddy. Get out there and show it off.
Toot, toot. Steve, that's going to wrap it up for the day, man. It's going to be a wild one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. Steve, you got anything left for Chiefs Kingdom?
Yep. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.